you all here. My name is Derek Clifton of Flowers Communications Group, and I'll be moderating this morning's press junket with Yvette Hunziker, the Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and Inclusion and Diversity at American Honda. And our special guests, we have Lonnie Love, who is hosting the HBOB live stream, and Ricky Smiley, who will serve as our in-stadium host for the live event. A quick note on how this morning's session is going to flow. We thank you all for submitting your questions in advance, those of you who were able, so that we can ensure that as many of them are answered as possible within the limited time we do have. We will start by asking the submitted questions, and then we'll open it up for a few questions from the floor. Now, during the open Q&A, please keep your questions focused on topic and on the Honda Battle of the Bands event. Please refrain from asking any off-topic or personal questions. We appreciate your understanding and your cooperation. And with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. So the first question is both for Lonnie and Ricky. Please tell us about your HBCU experience and what it means for you to be part of this event. Lonnie, we'll start with you.
I'm excited. As you can tell, I'm a former Marching Storm, Prairie View A&M University. I played French horn. Okay. And the flute. Okay. I was Lizzo before Lizzo. Okay. So to see this recognition today, to see Honda give this recognition to historically black colleges, especially during Black History Month, is awesome. I am so proud to be able to live stream this and to work with my partner, my brother, Ricky Smiley. Is just even best. And it's just the best.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm March trumpet, but I play French horn doing symphonic and jazz band.
Oh yeah.
Here at the historic Alabama State University. So I'm so excited about Battle of the Bands, and I just hope that a lot of kids are watching and get influenced and encouraged like I did. You know, because I went to the classic Madison class. That's Alabama State. I'm going to Ed in Birmingham every year as a kid. So, and I think it set a good tone in my life. So I'm so excited, and thank you, Honda, for supporting us, and we're just excited to be here.
All right. Our next question is for Yvette. Why did Honda decide to develop a relationship with HBCUs?
Well, first, why not? Why not? We were thinking about how to advance our relationship, particularly in the Black community. As a core pillar of our sustainability strategy is education. So our first choice was HBCUs. So that's how the relationship began. It began with the Honda Campus All-Star Challenge back in 1980.
Let's use that microphone. Sorry, this microphone's not functioning. Bear with us, please. All right. Next question. So how do HBCU marching bands shine a light on a special experience within the entire context of Black American culture? Ricky, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Lonnie.
What's the question again?
How do HBCU marching bands shine a light on a special experience within the entire context of Black American culture?
Oh yeah, a lot. It starts with the marching band. Marching bands, HBCUs historically, especially when I was a kid, just really set the tone for a lot of our culture. It's so important. The beat, the rhythm, the dancing, it just set the tone. So, growing up watching the band, that's how I got into everything that I'm into. Started out watching marching bands and the drum majors and the majorettes, the stingettes, and now they have stingettes and the honeybees. So, this is part. I think it's important. Money, you probably can answer better than me.
Oh, no, that was great, because the thing is, a lot of times, historically, Black colleges didn't have great football teams. So a lot of times we go just to see the bands. And that's just, honestly, it's a great way to advertise the school. There's a different way that we march than if you notice with PWIs. They march slow. We hot step. I was my skinniest when I was like, yes, okay?
Everybody leave after halftime.
Yeah, everybody leave after halftime. Exactly. So that is the beauty of of, the historically black colleges and the band. But also, if you notice, people always emulate what we start. I think there was a famous girl, she started a dance team at one of the California PWIs because she saw what we were doing. We had the Black Foxes, honey. It was like, and then the Flag Girls, and it's just a whole production. And this all started with historically black college marching bands, and we set our own tone. We did not care. We give energy. We provide support. And it's just something that I think for a long time has been overlooked. And so I want to again thank Honda, because this is something that needs to be shown a light. There are over 100 historically black colleges and universities. These are just 6 that you're going to see today. But hopefully, we can continue this to go on and on and on and showcase these wonderful kids and see their spirit and their pride.
Awesome. Our next question is for Yvette. What led to the decision to host this year's Honda Battle of the Bands at Alabama State University?
Well, as you know, we've been in this for 20 years now. This will be the 20th anniversary for the Honda Battle of the Bands. And due to the pandemic, we had 2 years off. So we're having the conversations about, how do we come back in 2023? And working with our HBCU partners, we had the conversation, and what kept coming up is homecoming. And when I worked with the team, we talked about it, what is that, what's homecoming? What better place to have a homecoming with the Battle of the Bands than on the HBCU campus? And then we talk about what campus, this is all about celebrating the culture of the black community. Yeah. So here we are in Montgomery, the heart of the civil rights movement. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you guys are having it outside of the homecoming, because homecoming is a whole different animal. Yeah, but to have it now, especially during Black History Month, to shine a light on this wonderful university, I think it's the perfect timing, and it's the perfect day, and this is what's needed. So thank you.
Our next question, and Lonnie, we'll start with you. How are HBCU marching bands important entities for HBCU culture?
Well, for me, I only joined the marching band because it paid me some money. Yeah, it paid that $100 back then. Okay. That was a lot. Okay, but as far as the culture and how it helps, it just shows the beauty of us as black people and people of color. It shows our creativity. It shows, how different we are. There's something about drum beats, and the African drum beats. It's something that you cannot deny. When you hear those drums and you see those drum majors, and the whole stadium is going to be electric. You know what I mean? So that is the beauty of it. This is our part of our culture. It goes back from us being from the motherland, hearing those drums, getting that beat, and understanding. We don't need no sheet music. You notice with sheet music.
Yeah, a lot of times we couldn't afford the sheet music.
Yeah.
So it was a couple of times where I sat at the piano and did the flutes, and did the clarinets, and then the saxophone, and then the alto tenor saxophone, the trumpet, trombone, and then I would let the percussion figure theirs out or whatever, because we couldn't afford the sheet music. We didn't have any money. And then I would go make copies and go in the band room and teach it or whatever. So, because it was very expensive or whatever. But they did pay for your books. Marching band, you get your books paid for. So, yeah. But Lonnie said everything that I was going to say. That's perfect and definitely on point.
Yeah.
So, what can we expect at this year's Honda Battle of the Bands Invitational Showcase? Lonnie, would you like to answer first?
Go ahead.
Or you can answer.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We just did a rehearsal, so I'm really excited about it. I like the script. You got Lonnie up there in the booth doing her thing, talking to the virtual audience. And this is one of the best in the game. First of all, one of the funniest comedians in the country. Big round of applause. One of the funniest. We go way back. We go back like old Cadillac seats.
Remember, you had Obama? Remember?
Yes, we was in the old, remember, yes. That's right. Was it your birthday? It was his birthday.
It was his
President
birthday,
Obama's birthday. And we sitting up here in the, in the Roosevelt room.
Yeah.
And our President Obama was like, okay, who wants to hang out in the Oval Office? She over here talking about, calm down, you gonna get us kicked out. And we went to the Oval Office and hung out for about a good 30, 40, like we kicked it. It was funny. Reverend Al,
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton. We had a great time. That was a great experience to be with my sister. And I still have the picture. Get your picture. Yeah, I got a picture. We had to brag about that because that was a moment. You in the White House with the first black president of the United States, and you in the Oval Office. I asked President Obama. I know this is off topic. I didn't take my
We've seen each other so long.
Yeah, we always get excited. I said, President Obama, walk me over to the window where you make most of your decisions. And he showed me he walked me over to that particular window that presidents stand when they make like world decisions. It was just so exciting. Yeah. But thank you for reminding me, and I forgot about that. That's
a Black History moment. So
it is.
That goes in with it. What was the question? Remember, we went outside after we were done with the meeting. This is the last one. After we were done with the meeting, and we had started having like a prayer. It was like, you realize you came from Detroit in the projects, and you listen to the scene, the President of the United States, and he's black, and we just started just praising. That's part of Black history, but this is part of Black history too. And this is what happens and I want to give props to Ricky Smiley because of the fact of, he has always been true. He has always been a leader in HBCU culture. He has dedicated his radio show, his platform, and that's very, very important. So you got two of the best, that we are HBCU. We believe in this culture. We believe in the dynamics of what is happening today, and we are just going to make sure that all over this country, they understand the importance of it. So,
yeah, that's right. Any words on what we can expect at the showcase this year?
Never been in the Oval Office. I've done that. I think what you can expect is a show. That's what you can expect is a show. And I think having this show at an HBCU campus is going to bring the full culture out and demonstrate to society. So that's what I'm about, the show today.
And I also want to say, I think it's very important that we needed the backing of someone like Honda. Because to have a live stream and a live show, and we got 2 Chainz too. Hey. 2 Chainz. He went to Alabama State. Okay. It don't matter. He still went. But this is what happens when we have good corporate partners that believe in helping to give our stories a shot and give our stories a chance. So what you're going to see today is you're going to see 6 dynamic marching bands. These kids, some of them was in the hotel with me. Okay. All right, y'all ready? Get some sleep. Because they are ready. So you're going to see a show. You're going to see a wonderful halftime show with 2 Chainz. And you're going to have Ricky. He's going to be our fearless leader in getting us started, pushing us along. I will be communicating with the people online, which is just as important because, and I will be on the big screen. And the thing is that hopefully this is just going to keep growing and growing so that people get excited. It gives more attention to HBCUs, and it's just going to be a grand show. So again, you cannot do this without a good corporate partner. So thank you to Honda. Can we give a hand clap to them?
Now, before we briefly open the floor, our last question is for Ted. Is the event still a showcase or an actual contest where there is a winner?
It's a showcase because all HBCU students, bands are winners. So it's not about winners. All we're doing is providing a platform for these amazing students to demonstrate their potential as future leaders in society, but more importantly, the
your name and the media outlet you represent before posing your question. We'd appreciate it, and please project. We apologize for having a microphone for the floor, but if you just stand or sit as you're able and project, we will get you that question over to the panel. All right, we'll open it up.
Oh, do we stand up? You picking somebody or we?
Yes.
Well, go ahead, Fred. Go ahead. Yeah. I hope you like my shirt, Albany State University. So I'm Chanel Simone. I'm a media host and radio personality in Atlanta, Georgia. I represent Food Here, Go Here podcast and also 94.7 The Lake Radio. So this is my question for both Ronnie and Ricky Smiley. So while HBCUs are receiving massive recognition, right? We have Honda Battle of the Bands, Deion Sanders, we got Beyonce Coachella, okay? But at the same time, there seems to be a lack of money, okay? So we don't receive the funding or anything that we need. So my question is, going forward, do you think that HBCUs will be able to sustain in the future?
Yeah, I think so. And for example, the things that the attention that Coach Prime has brought to HBCUs, and then now you got people coming home like Eddie Robb, that's coaching here, and then you got what's his name over at Tennessee State University, running back from Ohio State, Eddie George, whatever. So it's a lot of attention coming to HBCUs, and I think you'll see more people. The interest is higher than I've ever seen it. So I'm really excited about it.
HBCUs have been around for a long time, and what we need is funding. We need funding from the alumni, but we also need funding from donors. And just like Prairie View received from Mackenzie Scott, $50 million. This was 2 years ago. This is the reason why you have to give attention to things like the Honda Battle of the Bands, or you have to give attention to what Deion Sanders did, because that shines a light on HBCUs, and then when people see that HBCUs need more money, then they can get the appropriate funding. A lot of HBCUs are state funded. Get that money from the state. There's ways to get funding, and we have to fight for that funding. It is important that, like the state regents in Texas, there's a certain amount of funding that's supposed to go to all the colleges. So we have to be vocal about it, but we also have to realize too that, a lot of this falls on the alumni, but there's a lot of people with a lot of money out there that if you just go to them, and like what we did with Mackenzie Scott, she knew the president of Prairie View at the time, Ruthie Simmons. She liked her, she liked what she did, and she gave that $50 million, no questions asked. There are a lot of people that's got money out there. We have to just approach them, and that way we can keep that funding, we can keep our institutions going. It's very, very important. And believe me, it will last because we got a God, and God believes in this, and God will not let us down.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ashley, representing Radio 1 as well as Boston.com and Norfolk State University, HBCU grad. I wanted to ask you, and because of the partnership with Honda, how do we continue to have the line of appreciation versus appropriation? And I think we see that a lot when it comes to everyone that's currently having bands and attaching their names to it. But Honda has done an excellent job of doing that for over 20 years. I participated in this as well. So this is such a full circle moment. So how do you continue, and with the support of both of you, to make sure we're connecting with the right people and partnerships and companies to make sure we're doing that well?
Well, I think it depends on who you have. Like with Honda, they were great partners to Ricky and myself. They allowed us to be part of this process to make this happen. That's what's very, very important. There are a lot of companies. You know how with the whole Coach Prime thing, everybody started saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna help the HBCUs. We're gonna help and nobody. Everybody started dwindling away. With Honda, they didn't do that. They sought people that like yourself who actually went to an HBCU, who understood the culture. And that's what you have to do. I just don't go with anybody. I don't go with any corporation just because, the money. No. What are y'all doing? And when they told us the plan, we're like, well, this is going to be an awesome event. So it really starts with the alumni. It really starts with us, you know, not just letting these corporations use us because it's the flavor of the month. It's up to us to say, okay, what's happening? Can I be a partner? Can I have input? And that's what we did. And that's why this event is such a stellar event. And everybody is going to use this as the blueprint.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it.
We have time for one more
KK
question.
side. What's up, LJ? I didn't know that was you back there. I just realized that was you. LJ!
Hey, buddy.
Oh, Lord.
Who's on the mic with your boy, LJ?
All right. Our last question.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Angel from Showtime Talk, man, coming all the way from Texas. We a band podcast, and we just really got it off the ground. We're former band players as well. I marched at Texas Southern Ocean, the Soul Platinum Phone Play, October 2012 2016.
Okay.
So my question is, with Honda, I've noticed it's always been in Atlanta for as long as I've known the event, and with it being in Alabama State, I've noticed that we moved from Atlanta now. So is this going to be moving from a central location to a campus by campus basis? Like this year is Alabama State, but next year will be like Jackson or something.
That's what we're actually talking about. And as Lonnie mentioned, we're trying to work with the HBCU community to understand what the next 30 is going to look like. So, yes, we're here today. Yeah, we were in Atlanta. Tomorrow, we're going to go with our HBCU partners. So, stay tuned for more coming.
All right. And with that, we have to wrap up and get ready